Yo, what up guys, it's Flark, and let's talk Frosty K for a little while. Frosty K is not quite as popular as expected this season. Part of that is because Unholy is extremely popular this season. Another part is because Wizard Cleaves are very popular this season, namely Mage Lock, and Unholy just does better into those because of its anti-caster toolkit and single target sustained damage, while Frost is really burst oriented, especially cleave burst oriented. But that doesn't mean that Frost is dead in the water, and if you still really love playing Frost, you can absolutely make it work. I was playing Frost at about the same MMR I was playing Unholy at this season. Glad range pretty early on in the season, I think like week 3 or 4, which is going to be really good for you guys because MMR will inflate, and if you just really want to play Frost, then absolutely it's Glad viable. But I learned some things about Frosty K through all my games, experimentation, research, that kind of helped me craft a build that I think would be really potent for you guys, and they're based on 2 Frosty K truths, let's say. Truth number 1, we don't really have a good second legendary. We have second legendaries, they're just not that impactful. Unholy got Frenzied Monstrosity. This is just 15 to 20% raw damage because of the damage portion and the attack speed portion, and it's up nearly all the time. So that is absolutely fantastic. But Frosty K, we got 10% dam, but it's only to 1 ability. We get the rune generation, that doesn't matter. We get the rhyme proc runic generation, which also doesn't matter because we have a ton of resources during our go anyway, and that's the only time we're getting kills. We also have Absolute Zero that we can wear, but Dead of Winter ended up being, with all the buffs they pumped full of this PvP talent, ended up being just a better stun because it's a 45-second cooldown and a 4-second duration. That ends up just being a better stun overall. So we're left wondering, what is the second legendary that's really going to change everything? And we don't really have an answer for that because there's not a lot. So that's truth number 1. Not a good second legendary. Truth number 2, it really likes winning in burst windows. Like, in fact, it is the most win in a very short period of time spec in the entire game right now, which means you really have to get that burst window off. So if you put those 2 truths together, you get a very interesting result. You get a legendary that might not really, you might not expect it to be that good, but because again, the other second legendaries are not that good, and because of how important it is to win in that window, we have a legendary called Death's Embrace. And this increases the duration of your AMS by 140%, and any damage it absorbs heals you. Just read the tooltip for you. I've actually been talking about this one for a long time, but yet it never came to fruition. Honestly, I thought it was going to be played for Unholy because it gives you a 24-second AMS, but Unholy just has unpeelable damage anyway, and it has never-ending damage, and you just want to pump as much damage as you possibly can to that spec, which everybody's doing, and it's working out great. But for Frost really relies on making sure you get that burst window off. And even though it's only 11 seconds instead of 24 seconds, those 11 seconds mean a little bit more. For example, when I press this button and I get that 11-second AMS, I can press that at the beginning of my go and be completely immune to all magical CC, which is effectively every CC in the game, let's be real. Imprison, Fell Eruption, Remorseless Stun, Blind, Poly, Clone, Fear, Root, even Melee, as I just mentioned, even Melee CC is generally magical CC. There's very limited physical CC, and generally the ones that it's generally like snares or stuns, and we can get out of those anyway with IBF. So this legendary makes you nearly unpeelable. When combined with IBF, Lichborn, AMS, 11 seconds, you actually cannot get peeled during your go, and since it's a 1-minute cooldown, you effectively couldn't get peeled for any go. So I've created a build that is entirely focused around as much burst as you can possibly put into the spec, and I'm going to show you the build and the Soulbinds and the conduits that are actually very important, that will give you that burst, and, B, the legendary, the legendary making you unpeelable from every situation. And as a result, you actually have a very hard to deal with Frosty K spec. Now, of course, at the very highest level, you're queuing into a multi-rank 1 MLX. They'll have some ways to deal with it regardless. Honestly, they could just tank it because of how tremendously overpowered that comp is right now. But not everybody is playing to play this game at a BlizzCon championship level, right? So if you are looking to you push Glad for the first time with your friends, maybe even just push new achievements like 18 or 21, since MMR is a little deflated right now, as I've talked about, this build is honestly going to be a little mind-blowing. So let's talk about it right now. We've got the talents. This part's going to be so easy. It's the same talents we've run for every Frost build since the start of the season. Inexorable Assault just adds more damage to every Obliterate, and it stacks while you're getting to them, so you're going to have a full stack right when you start your go. Murderous Efficiency for more rune generation. Blind, because that is just incredible, and it's an AoE CC that pretty much defines Frost setup goes. Avalanche just does a ton of damage with Limb Rhyme procs. Death Pact instead of Wraithwalk, because you have AMS for every go, so you're not going to get rooted, and you really want to make as good use out of this window as possible, so having a off-global, off-cost heal that you can just press in the middle of your go actually keeps you self-sustaining without even having to press Death Strike, though sometimes you will have to press Death Strike. Gathering Storm for just extra Remorseless Winter duration. The damage is not that key, but it gives you a second proc of your Dead of Winter stun, which is extremely disruptive to have a 4-second AoE stun into a 2-second AoE stun. It's just ridiculous. And of course, Obliteration. You will never change off this talent for any reason until Dragonflight hits us. Okay, so PvP talents, because that's the PvE setup right there. You will never change. So if you pause the video right now and you take a look at this, you can just copy it exactly. You'll never, ever, ever, ever change. So that's not hard. But PvP talent's a little more interesting. Of course, we have Dead of Winter as a lock-in. We're not running Absolute Zero for this build, so this is a must-run against every comp, even Wizards. It's still good to stun them, and if you pull one in, you might get a double stun, because remember, you got so many limb pulls that you could keep a lock near a mage and stun them both, but Dead of Winter, extremely reliable. You will never swap off this PvP talent, so that's a lock-in. Chill Streak, because of what you're going for, probably becomes a lock-in in everything except for the most triangle-heavy wizards, like H-Pal Wizard Cleaves. Holy Priest Wizard Cleaves, you might still be able to get a Chill Streak off because you can get the Lock and his pet together. You can get the Mage and the Lock together with, like I said, a DR Dead of Winter stun. Still could probably get a few bounces for this. It could do like 30 to 40k damage, which is not the full 70k that it could do, but I mean, let's be real, that's fantastic for a no resource cost, 70% slow that also does 40k damage. And if it goes off the Lock and his pet, it generally kills the pet, which means they can't kick. And they're actually going to be summoning their pet for a little while. If you've killed it twice, they don't have the Fell Domination res, and that's really good. So Chill Streak is actually kind of a lock for a build this burst heavy as well. So the only variable PvP talent becomes this third slot, Dome of Winter into RMP Wizard Cleaves and other DKs, because you want to zone their limb go. Bitter Chill into things like Turbo and Jungle is really important. And pretty much nothing has that much value unless you want to Strang an H-Pal or an R-Shaman. That they completely destroys H-Pal and R-Shamans. Or Disc Priest, though you're generally going to see Holy Priest. But Disc Priest, R-Shaman, H-Pal, if you want to run them down from start to finish, Strang eliminates them. A stun into a Strang is pretty much a kill on any of those classes if they don't have CDs, and you're going to get all their CDs in the opener anyway. So Strang, good at killing those 3 healers. Zone, good against all those comps I mentioned, and Bitter Chill is a turbo kind of jungle play, and those are the PvP talents you'll run. So the talents locked and loaded. I'll keep it on the screen for 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. I really hope you guys got that. We're going to talk about gear now. Like I said, the Legendary Death's Embrace, that is what the build is kind of focusing around. This video is even made for. You're going to put Verse and Mastery on it. You're going to put it on your ring so you can control as much secondary stats as possible. And then Mastery Gem, Mastery Enchant. I bet you know where we're going with stats, but I'll get there in just a second. Of course, you're going to run Unity always. It would be Verse Mastery if you're playing Frost as a main. I was playing a little bit more Unholy this season, but that's an obvious one. Then you've got the Ruin of Fallen Crusader Runeforge. I know a couple people will ask about this if they haven't seen my other videos yet. You have Razor Ice from your 4 set. Spoiler alert, we will be running that. Rune of the Fallen Crusader and Razor Ice in conjunction, absurd AoE pressure. Razor Ice is now applied AoE, that's more AoE damage. Fallen Crusader is strength, which is more AoE damage. This thing is just nuclear. Badge, because you're going to put it on every 1 minute go, that is non-negotiable. And of course, like I said already, you are running the 4 set on Helm, Shoulders, Legs, and Gloves. That is going to give you the best stats that you can get while still getting this remarkable 4 set. No, you will never take it off. It allows you to run Fallen Crusader. It gives you AoE Razor Ice, something you did not have before, and it just does the Glacial Advance damage, which is actually pretty insane. So that's all of your gearing choices, and of course, You guessed it, we're going all into mastery. Of course, I have a little less than you will because I have some unholy gear still on. You will probably have about 60%. Congratulations, you're going to be loving it. You get about 30% verse, as much mastery as humanly possible, and the rest goes into haste and crit. It actually doesn't matter. You're getting your crit from the badge and haste for some off pieces, like your tier set pieces, of course, but really you're going all into verse and mastery, and you're going to have about 30% verse, 60% mastery. It is going to be insane output. So that's gearing. Did you keep up with that? Watch it again if you didn't, but it is stuff we've talked about before. You're getting those mastery rings, and of course, again, you've got your badge for your 1 minute goes. Gives you some crit, but that's totally fine, as we'll discuss in a second when we move right on to Soulbinds and conduits. Your Soulbind, this is a fun one. Bonesmith every time, every game, no questions asked. It just gives you too much mastery and you're too focused on the cleave go, and Bonesmith does a great job with that. Why? Again, Carver's Eye, we've talked about it before, but this is the time it really shines, the Frosty K AoE one-shot build. This gives you mastery pretty much all the time. Every time they get healed back up, it's going to proc this again. It procs off of pets, it procs off of cleave, it procs off of everything. You're going to have, 400 to 600 more mastery the entire game, and I mean, that's almost double my mastery right here. That's another 36% damage the entire time. Carver's Eye is just so good, but there's actually another option in here that's extremely good, and you're never going to swap off this either. This is Marrowed Gemstone. I'm hovering over it right now so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Go down this path on your Frosty K right now, please, and thank you. You're thinking, what the heck? This is 10 critical strikes, crit chance. I thought you said crit was bad for DKs. Sure. But 18% crit is not bad for anybody. Even if it doesn't do anything additional for your class, it's still 18% crit, which turns out to be a lot of damage. Because while we still have our Obliterate guaranteed crits, which helps proc this, by the way, we have A-Bomb limb damage, Glacial advance damage, Frost Fever damage, even Remorseless Winter damage. You have all of these abilities that don't get guaranteed crits from Killing Machine, and your guaranteed crits from Killing Machine plus the Remorseless Winter grants 8% crit chance while active, ends up proccing this insanely fast. You will always, just check your buffs, you will always have this during your goes. And yes, 18% plus 8% crit, that's 26% crit during every burst window. Oh, and by the way, you got like 10% baseline, so that's 36% baseline crit without having to invest anything in it at all. That is so much more A-Bomb limb damage, so much more Glacial advance damage, so much more Rime proc damage, so much more Frost Fever damage, Avalanche damage. All of those things are going to crit 36% of the time without any investment. And like I said, you'll proc it no problem with guaranteed crits from Killing Machine and the 8% crit chance when Remorseless Winter is active. You will have this right away during your burst, and it's going to be a nuclear explosion of damage, not just from Obliterate, but from every ability that you have. And of course, the conduits you're going to run are A-Bomb Limb. We just talked about how much damage it's going to do. Well, now it's going to do 66% more. And Accelerated Cold, because this is what gives you so much haste during your burst without, speccing into it at all. You don't have to run a lot of haste because you get so much just from pressing your one-shot macro with Empower Rune weapon. You get a ton of haste, and it allows you to actually get off your go. Otherwise, if you didn't have this conduit, of course, you could not do a go. You would be too slow and you wouldn't get enough globals off during that window. So very important. And the standard defensive things, but I'll run through them one more time. Chilled Resistance, or Chilled Resilience rather. Insatiable Appetite, of course, and Hardened Bones. These are given for every DK spec, but in case you haven't seen a video of mine yet, you're coming here for the first time, that's what you're gonna run. You can go right down this path. You can see it on the screen. I have it lit up right now for you, but that is your Soulbinds, your conduits, and well, you know what Covenant we're running, it's Necrolord. So that is the setup. Just to show you guys one more time the burst window, of course, you're going to change your kill target, Remorseless Winter, A-Bomb Limb, one-shot macro, and then Rime proc, Obliterate, over and over and over. You're going to see, if you stare at my buffs the entire time, you're going to watch all of these modifiers start taking into play. The only button you would actually add to this is hilarious, an aggressive AMS, because if they swap to you to try and break the AMS, because it's like, I had this DK AMS right in the beginning, what an idiot, we could just kill them. They're going to realize that it's not off in 5 seconds. So if they ever swap to you in that 5-second window that they're probably tuned in for, like they're probably like, it's like they're going to be off in a few seconds, it's going to keep lasting and lasting and lasting. They're going to be like, wait, do we go into him? Do we attack him now? If they attack you into the AMS, you get the whole AMS absorb, and if you're low health at all, you're going to get a full heal off of it. So that's a terrible idea. And if they don't attack into your AMS, then you have the full 11 seconds of CC reduction, and it didn't matter that you used it aggressively. So you chains, you AMS, you remorseless winner, one-shot macro, rhyme proc, obliterate, chill streak, rhyme proc, obliterate. And you can see I'm already getting all those modifiers right now. That's 18% crit, baby. Look at all these stats right now. It's beautiful. How much damage are we doing? A good 60k DPS, and you're loving it, right? So that is the setup. That is the burst window. Now we're going to go right onto the gameplay. A quick note about the gameplay. Like I said, I did manage to actually play a bunch of my Glad wins this season while the MMR was still down a little bit as Frost. So should work to get you guys Glad if that's your goal this season, or even above that when MMR inflates. These clips are going to be mostly from my stream, which of course I do some community threes. I do some push threes with the community. But we're going to win a lot of games in the opener. I'm not trying to say that this, if we queue into Maldiva, you know, wealthy man, that we're just going to walk in there and one-shot them. Of course not. So these clips are going to be a little fast, a little funny. They're going to show you how crazy it can be if you're playing with your friends, just trying to have a good time, or maybe push your first Glad this season. But of course, if they go this fast, do not anticipate that if you queue into a 15 times rank 1 BlizzCon champion MLX, that you're going to be able to kill them in the opener like this. So of course, that's not what I'm intending. But let's stop talking. Let's get right into the clips, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, I'm AMSing. Give me every buff. I'm going to one-shot this guy from full health. Bye. Run in. Everybody come in with me. Okay, I got it. Oh, perfect. AMSing all their CC. One-shotting Shaman. He can run, but he cannot hide. Stringing Trinket instantly. One game. Warrior's dead. Does not matter to me. I'm a wrecking ball. Killing every player. One-shotting Warrior. Pulling in Hunter. I don't think it goes any better than that, team. I don't think it goes any better than that. I change this guy now. Give me every buff in the game. Beautiful. Popping off. Hammering. Get ready for MD. Oh no! MD, MD. Did the Hunter just die? And the bubble's off? What just happened to this team? Jeez.
Well, that was disgusting.
Every buff, every buff, every buff. AMSing everything. So naughty. I'm going through zone, team. I'm going through zone right now. Oh. Am I doing 41k DPS? Huh. Chance. Morris, now I'll take everything. No! My god, he almost died when I was flying in space. That was the weirdest thing. He's just dead. Oh my god, dude. It's nice playing with a warrior that does some damage. Wait, is he even doing damage, or is it just... Nope, that was just me. Oh, well, it's nice playing with a warrior that presses Stormbolt, I guess. Is that even true? Because I like my son in the beginning. It's nice playing with Jake for reasons that I do not have right now. Dorian. Okay, I changed these guys. Everybody run in with me. Give me every buff in the game. I'm loving it. I'm popping off right now. I trigger this. I think he revivals. Yes, but he did it early. I have a lot of damage right now. Spamming Dan. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. One-shotting. He thinged. Thing every cooldown out of every player. Okay, okay. I can still kill Snack here. I live, I think. I packed. I do live. Oh, look at that healing, man! I'm an immortal god! Change both. Okay. I have grip blind. I'm gonna send it right now for funsies. She'll streak on it. What's more in the fear? You know me. I should have to trinket because I was in something else at the same time. Kick games. This guy's just feigning again. Oh, he's Gonzo. He's Gonzo the clown. Ow. I should be okay because I have the most healing in game. Why are they going me? They would have killed my warrior ages ago, bro. They're going the wrong target present. Nice. And I'm binding shotted. So gross. It just doesn't break. I have AMS though. Super AMS. I'm gonna AMS his Necro. Topping myself in it. They're super mad. I feel like I'm a force, dude. I'm a freak of nature. Actually, they can't do anything to me. I'm disoriented for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I have limit 26. They're just buying time before the inevitable happens, unless they kill me, I guess. But I really shouldn't die. Unless they kill me right here when I don't have AMS. Death striking. Which they might, apparently. Please. Death striking again. He dies. I'm peeping my healing down after this game. Because it's going to be a lot. Okay. Okay. Would you get your ass back here, huge accolade? You had your chance to kill me. You fucked it up. I did 520,000 healing. Walking at him. I'm sapped. Do I want to trigger this? No, I don't. Just use all your defensives before I get there. Nice fear. Perfect fear. Okay, and now you can give me everything and give Jake paints up. Let's go, baby. Here it comes. MD me. Oh my god, the rogue's dead. Oh my god. I grip him back, Strangling him, kill streak. Naughty. Jake, no. Chains him. They want to play this. I blinded both. You can get them mind games here. It's super easy.
I don't have it.
Really? You sure?
Yeah, that's what I killed the paladin with.
I just saw you casting it. That's right.
No, I don't have it.
Gotcha. It was the Shadow Priest, my fault. Trying to live. I died to this game. Siphoned. You should just drop a dome for me. I'm gonna die to this. Flesh crafting, super good. I get like half of it off. Kick the VT. Should be completely fine as soon as this goes off. Bye. Beautiful. I see now. I was looking at the Shadow Priest. Well, good thing his mind games didn't go off the bat. Oh, he jukes me. Ray is the best player on both teams. Okay.